What's up, guys? It's Saturday night again. You know what that means. New Dragon Ball Super episode just came out, and I went ahead and watched it. The raw footage. Some of it I kind of understood, so I have an idea of what's going on before the actual translations even come out. But let's get started. I'm gonna go through the whole episode and kind of talk about what I think about it and what happened. But to get started, it picked up right where it left off before. You know, Trunks just went some crazy new form where he's like a mix between Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan God, or Super Saiyan Blue, because he has like the blue aura around his yellow normal Super Saiyan aura. And right away you see that he just starts attacking Goku Black and Zamasu, and he's pretty even with them for a little while. I mean, he's fighting him. He grabs Goku Black by the leg after he hits him and starts swinging him around. Goku Black kind of counters it. And they just kind of fight back and forth. You do see Trunks kind of get the better of him at that point, and really just makes Goku Black kind of bleed from the mouth a little bit. But even then, it looks like that him and Zamasu were still able to get the upper hand on Trunks. So Trunks is kind of fighting. Vegeta tried to help, kind of got swatted out of the way pretty quickly by Zamasu and Black real fast. So he didn't really do much. He kind of just fell down and reverted back to his base form. So then we have Trunks just kind of holding his own. I mean, it's 2-on-1, so Trunks is doing pretty well. There's a good chance that he would be pretty even with Goku Black if they just fought 1-on-1. And so he's fighting him. He basically says, "Hey, go back to the past, and and everything. Take Goku back, get him healed," because Goku was in pretty bad shape at that point. And so Vegeta leaves the sensu beans there. Some people were already asking in the comments as to why they didn't just give Goku a sensu bean. We don't know how many are in the bag. We assume it's not many. Otherwise, they would have just given him one right there. But they take Goku back. Vegeta, Goku, and Bulma leave in the time machine, leaving Trunks and Mai in the future with, I guess the idea is for Black and Zamasu to be kind of distracted by Trunks while they're in the past figuring this out. Because remember, they can time travel back right at that instant. So it's going to seem like, it should anyway, if it makes sense, that they were only gone for a couple seconds. And so they travel back to the past, leaving Trunks to fight those two. I did like the nice little callback to Gohan with the Masenko. That was really cool. He shot kind of the Masenko at Goku Black. That was neat. And so they go back in time. So we leave Trunks and them there. We don't see them again for the rest of the episode. So they go back in time, and at this point they have to pull Goku out of the time capsule to go take him and put him in the healing pod, let him start getting healed. And it was interesting because they did some focus on Trunks kind of seeing Goku and realizing how serious the situation was. So we then see Goku get in the healing chamber, start healing. We see Trunks go and actually basically get Goten. We haven't seen Goten in forever. So he goes, knocks on Goten's window, and they kind of leave from Goten's bedroom to kind of start, doing their mischief. They're kind of mischievous at this point. They want to try to help, but they know the grown-ups essentially won't let them. So they're trying to kind of sneak around and everything. And Vegeta eventually catches them and says, "Hey, you're not gonna be any help." But I think this is kind of foreshadowing for them, maybe trying to sneak into the future and help as Gotenks maybe. So at that point, Vegeta says, "Hey, you're not going to be any help," and then all the Z fighters start gathering. Well, Bulma starts laying in the Beerus that he's wrong. Like, he's just wrong. They're all still alive in the future, and they're wreaking havoc. And Beerus pretty much goes, "You know what? It's not my problem. I dealt with this timeline. That's what I'm responsible for." And then him and Whis just end up just kind of leaving. So they end up getting out of the picture, they leave, and now we have all the Z fighters, including Piccolo, Krillin, Gohan, Chi-Chi. Everyone's just in a room kind of talking and trying to sort things out, figure out how they can beat an immortal, which usually, is impossible. Well, they come up with using the Mafuba. Now, if you didn't watch Dragon Ball, you probably don't know what that is. It basically is a way to seal an evil spirit in basically a container. I think at the time, they used like a rice cooker. So you can pretty much use any container that you can close. So it was pretty funny because Piccolo's used it. He used it on Kami. It was a reverse. He reversed it and sealed Kami away back in the tournament. So Piccolo knows how to use it, and he kind of, stood up like, "Oh, I'm gonna show you how to use this. Everything's good," because at that point Piccolo had that moment where he realized he was gonna be relevant. And then Goku kind of cuts him off. It's like, "I'll go ask Roshi. He could teach me how to do it." And he just instant transmissions out of there, which is pretty good. It was pretty funny. And the whole time they're talking, you see Gohan, this was good too. Gohan starts kind of thinking about it and realizing how serious the situation is. Realizes that Trunks, is out there fighting these two people in the future. Realizes how serious this situation is getting, and you kind of get that glimpse of Gohan maybe going, maybe I need to get involved here and either train or figure out how I can help them out. So if you're a Gohan fan, I would expect maybe Gohan actually, gets on his horse at this point and actually starts either training or helping. I don't know how much he's going to be able to help since he should be pretty weak at this point. I mean, he hasn't done any kind of fighting or training or anything since the end of the Buu saga. So at this point, it looks like Gohan might try to get involved. To what extent, I'm not sure, but we'll kind of move on from there. Goku then goes to Roshi's and starts training the Mafuba by trying to trap Turtle over and over and over, and you really feel bad for Turtle because it was hours, all night he was trying to trap him and kept failing constantly, and eventually around morning, so all night he's doing this, morning time he finally successfully captures Turtle in the Mafuba, and it was just Dragon Ball comedy the entire time. So this whole going to train, this Mafuba thing where it was a callback to Dragon Ball, they kind of went along with it with more comedy to try to keep it lighthearted like Dragon Ball is. So this whole episode was slower, and I think they needed that. It was a lot of action the past couple episodes, so they needed kind of a slowdown and kind of reestablish, and then now next episode there's going to be a lot more action. So looks like Goku's going to take the Mafuba back with him and attempt to seal Zamasu, which I guess at that point when he's sealed, they'll try to deal with Goku Black at that point. But the episode didn't end just like that. They had an interesting exchange between Whis, Gowasu, and Beerus. And they're talking, and they're basically saying, Beerus is saying, hey, I could go to the future and make this right. I could fix this. But I don't want to basically get in trouble, break the code, essentially, for a god to time travel between timelines. And at that point, Gowasu kind of looks at him and says, hey, it's my fault this is happening. If we get in trouble, I'll take the fall, essentially. I'll say, hey, he was my student. I picked him. Like we're saying, basically, if Zeno finds out, I picked him, and, it's my fault. Beerus is trying to make this right. So if you're going to blame anyone or punish anyone, blame me. This was Gowasu saying that. And it kind of ended that way. So we basically ended to where Beerus may go into the future and attempt to fight, but they can't. I don't think there's any way they can have Beerus end it. So, and I don't think the Mafuba is going to end it either. I think something else is going to happen. We already saw titles from the future episodes that are coming up, and one of them talks about fusion for Goku Black and possibly Zamasu fusing together. So I don't think Beerus is going to finish it. I actually think Beerus is going to get run over, essentially, by the fusion. I think they're going to fuse because Beerus is there to fight Beerus, and then I don't think Beerus is going to be able to stop them. I think they'll beat Beerus, and then what I'm really hoping, I think everyone's hoping, is that there is a fusion between Goku and Vegeta as Super Saiyan gods, essentially, Super Saiyan Blue, and we get like a Gogeta, a Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta. So, but good episode. It was definitely slower paced. There was some filler in there with Chi-Chi looking for Goku. I did like the subtle foreshadowing with possibly Trunks and Goten helping out, and I like the kind of the little glimmer of hope for Gohan, where he's kind of sitting there looking on and realizing he's not doing anything while everyone's getting kind of beat up. So I hope they bring both of them in. If not here, in the future, maybe in the tournament that's supposed to be coming up. And it overall is a good episode. They can't all be action-packed or crazy or anything, so I was glad. I don't think the Mafuba is going to end it, and I don't think Beerus is going to end it. I think we'll get that fusion to Gogeta as a Super Saiyan God, so I'm looking forward to that. Definitely subscribe if you wanted to see future updates as we go along, because I'll be updating every Saturday night. I'll watch the next episode and we'll talk about it. So definitely subscribe and check out some other videos. I'll talk about some different things in Dragon Ball, and I do a lot of video game stuff too. So definitely check out the channel, and I'll see you guys next time.